Good day everyone, especially to you Sir Ryan Labrador. So in this chapter 2, I will discuss the different theories and events. So I will discuss in the 20th century. In the early 21st century saw the rise of the field of mathematical logic. The trend of the 19th century towards increasing generalization and abstraction in mathematics also continued in the 20th century. Logical concepts like consistency and completeness were emphasized. Specialized fields of study such as graph theory, knot theory, topology, graph theory, functional analysis, Charles theory, game theory, and many more started to develop during this period. So, kaning nga theory, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Kaning pito ka theory, ako nang anam og discuss og unsa ni sila og kinsay ga-invento ani nila. So ganan nato ang group theory. Ang group theory in mathematics and abstract algebra, group theory studies the algebraic structures known as groups. So, nagmatter dito sa groups. Group theory naman siya. So, the concepts of a group is central to abstract algebra. Other well-known algebraic structures. So known as algebraic structure katong mga algebra such as rings, fields, and vector spaces can all be seen as groups induced with additional operations and axioms. So in a group of theory, we have three main historical sources. Na siya tulo ka historical sources. We have, first is the number theory, next is the theory of the theory of algebraic equations, and next is the geometry. Muna siya tulo ka theory akong balikon ha sa three main historical sources sa group theory. Number 1 is number theory, 2 is the theory of algebraic equations, 3 is the geometry. So mao na siya sa historical. Then group theory is important. One of the very important applications of group theory is its application to geometry. And group theory extensively used in pure math as well. So, ang group theory, ano siya pinaka-importante application to geometry, then extensively used in pure math as well. Bakit yung kana? Group theory, gi-invent ni Agustin Louis Cauchy. Ang ga-invento di ay sa group theory kay si Agustin Louis Cauchy. Muna siya ga-invent. The next is the knot theory. Knot theory in topology. Knot theory is the study of mathematical knots, while inspired by knots which appear in daily life, such as those in squares and rope. And mathematical knot differs in that the ends are joined together so that it cannot be undone. The simplest knot being a ring. So, ang knot katong PC nya katong bidlubid ana nga dayon. Ang simple kay mura siya ring singsi ana. Dayon, ang ga-invent di ay sa knot theory is si Friedrich Gauss. Carl Friedrich Gauss ang muna siya invento sa knot theory. Knots that cannot be so resolved as called prime. So, muna siya. Dayon. Next is the graph theory. Ang graph theory is the study of graphs, which are mathematical structures used to model pairwise relations between objects. Ang graph in the context is made up of verticals, also called nodes or points, which are connected by edges, also called links or lines. Ang graph theory, napuday father ang graph theory kay si Euserian. Siya ang refers to the Swiss mathematician. Ang graph theory, the father of a graph theory is si Euserian. Siya ang refers to the Swiss of mathematician. Din ang nag-invent pud sa graph theory kay si Leonhard Euler. Managa invent sa graph theory. Nag-invent siya noong 18th century. Yes. Then next is the functional analysis. Functional analysis is the branch of mathematical analysis which studies the transformations of functions and their algebraic and topological properties. This is a functional analysis, branch of mathematical analysis na branch. Dayon, ang number next is the Chau's theory. Is an interdisciplinary theory stating that within the apparent randomness of chaotic complex systems, these are underlying patterns. Patterns. Interconnectedness, constant feedback, loops, repetition, self-similarity, fractals, and self-organizations. Ang mga sa Chau's theory, an interdisciplinary theory. Next is the game theory. Game theory is the study of the ways in which interacting choice of economics agents produce outcomes with respect to the preferences or utilities of those agents, where the outcomes in questions might have been intended by none of the agent. So, muna sa game theory, study of the ways which interacting choices on economic agent. Muna siya sa game theory. Then next is the diri na punta sa year ug sa event. So, in the year an event, so si Ernst Zermelo assumes si theory noong 1908 muna iyang year. Next is John von Neumann begins devising the principles of game theory and proves the minimax theorem. So, mo yung events ni John von Neumann noong 1928. Then, next is Andrei Kolmogorov publishes Grand Begriff der Wahrscheinlichkeitsstrecke noong Basic Motions of the Calculus of Probability, which contains an axiomatizon or probability. Mo yung events ni Andrei Kolmogorov. Siya nag-publish year 1933. Next is the von Neumann and Oscar Morgenstern publish theory of games and economic behaviors, mo nilang events ni Newman, ni von Neumann and Oscar Morgenstern noong 1944. Dayon. Next is Claude Shannon. Claude Shannon invents information theory and applies mathematical methods to study errors in transmitted information. Ga-invent ni siya information theory and applies mathematical muna events ni Claude Shannon noong 1948. Next is si Richard Hamming publishes a fundamental paper or error detecting and error correcting codes. Si Richard Hamming ka-publish and fundamental paper on error detecting and error correcting codes. Muna sila ka-publish ani mo nilang events noong 1950. Then si Marshall Hall publishes his famous text theory or groups. Si Marshall, many events ni Marshall publishes his famous text theory or groups noong 1959. Next is the Benoit Mandelbrot publishes list objects fractals form hazard 8th dimension which describes the theory of fractals no year 1975. Muni ang events ni Benoit Mandelbrot publishes list objects fractals form hazards. Then next is Kenneth Appeal and Wolfgang Harin, a computer to prove the four color of theorem. So si Kenneth Appeal and Wolfgang Harin muna ilang event to prove in a four color of theorem. So natay four color of theorem: orange, gold, green, and blue. Muna siya four color of theorem. Giprove na ni Kenneth Appeal and Wolfgang. Na sila ga-prove sa four color of theorem: orange, gold, green, and blue noong 1976. Yes, 1976. Next is the Leonard Adleman, Ronald Rebus, and Adi Shammer introduced the RSA crypto system. Year 1977. Mandelbrot publishes the fractal geometry of nature, which develops his theory of fractal geometry more fully than his work of 1975. So nalabyan na dire mo jud ni siya Benoit Mandelbrot 1975. Ang year niya is 1982. Then his work in dire siya. Dayon next is Andrew Wiles proves Fermat's last theorem. Year 1994. Si Andrew Wiles probe mo ni events ni Andrew Wiles. Then next is the Millennium Prize is put up for the solutions of 7 famous mathematical problems. Napuday 7 famous mathematical problems. First is the P versus NP, ang P versus the use conjectures, then the Poincare conjectures, the Riemann hypothesis, the Young-Mills existence, and mass gas gap, never Stokes existence, and smoothness, and the Birch and Swinnerton Dyer conjecture. Mo ni ang events nila. Mo 7 famous. Year 2000 po. Wala ko na tao ani. 2000 year 2000. Wala ko na tao ani kay 2000 lang ko. Then, muna siya. That's all for today. 15 minutes na dyan akong maapas. Thank you. Thank you for watching this video.